Hi there, welcome back to this channel. Let's talk about charging by induction and charging by conduction. All right, so these are the two ways by which we are able to charge conductors. Okay, so properties of the substances are categorized into conductors, inductors, conductors, non-conductors, and semiconductors based on their electrical property. So, and we are able to charge these three types of material by either friction, conduction, and induction. So we charge non-conductors or insulators by friction, while conductors, we charge them by both induction and conduction. So now let's talk about conduction. Now conduction is the type of charging that requires contact. Now notice, the point is there is no friction here, there's no rubbing against each other. All that needs to be done is just contact between the charged body and the body that is to be charged. In this case, this sphere is to be charged, this sphere is also to be charged, and this rod here is charged. Both of them are conductors, these two are also conductors. This rod is charged, this one is to be charged. So since this one is not charged before contact, remember I said this requires contact, while induction is non-contact. Non-contact charging. This one is contact charging. So this one is said to be neutral because before contact, this guy, this metallic sphere had equal distribution of positive and negative charges. Had equal distribution of positive and negative charges. The distribution of positive and negative charges is equal. Here also, the distribution of positive and negative charges is equal before charging. Okay? So that's why this guy is neutral here, this guy is charged. But the moment there is contact, the moment this rod touches this metallic sphere, here is what happens. The first thing that happens is that there is now because of contact, there is a movement of one of the particles, whether positive or negative. And I already told you, positives don't move. It is the electrons that move. So there is movement of what? Of electrons. So from where to where? Here's what happens. There is movement of, because this guy is abundant in positive charges, right? And this guy has equal number of positive and negative. So here's what first happens. There is first a separation of charges, or more for you to think of it like negative charges will move close to this point, so much so that once they now make contact, electrons will now move onto this guy. Electrons will move to this guy. Electrons will move. So negative charges will move. Let's say about 4 to 5 negative charges has moved. So negative charges have now moved on to this guy. Okay? Then what will now happen is that the moment this guy is removed, this guy will keep losing electrons to this guy until they've attained equilibrium. And the moment this guy is removed, this charging rod is removed, then this guy is left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more positive charges than there are negative charges. So negative charges that still remain here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are still 6 negative charges that are cancelled out by 6 positive charges. But there are another 5 positive charges that are not cancelled out by negative charges. So the overall charge on this body will now be positive I. Okay? So that is what we call charging by conduction. There is contact. Now by induction, very simple. The word induction is from the word induce, right? To cause something to happen to something, right? So by induction, in this case, the charger does not even need to touch the charging body or the body to be charged. So once the charger is brought close enough to this metallic sphere, there is separation or redistribution of charges. There is redistribution of charges. Now, how do the charges redistribute themselves? Now, you know that this body that is charging, that is the charged body that is being used to charge, is positively charged. Yeah. So the moment it's brought close to this guy, what will happen is that the separation will happen such that the negative charges, recall Coulomb's law, that the first that negative equal charges repel and opposite charges attract. So opposite charges that were here, remember this guy is neutral, having equal number of positive and negative. So those opposite charges which are negative will now line up close to this guy, very close to this guy, while the positive charges will move to the other end. I hope this makes sense to us. There will be redistribution of charges. Equal number of positive and negative charges initially will now separate. So we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 negative charges will move here because positive, they are attracted to these positive charges. And 12 positive charges, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 positive charges will move to the other end. Is that okay? To separate, to move away from these positive charges. So they've now moved away the positive charges. Here's what will now happen. The charger, the person that is charging, may now use his hand or another conductor, such as a strip of wire, and connect to these positive charges, positive charge, and connect it to the earth. Now remember that this must be done while this charger is being in place, because if this charger is removed before this metal strip is put here, metal conductor is put here, there will be rearrangement of the charges again so that this body will become neutral again. But what happens is that while this charging body is still in place, he brings a conductor or uses his hand, then by that action, the charges are conducted to the earth. Which charges? The positive charges. But positive charges do not move, right? So what actually happens is that negative charges from the earth will now move up, and the body, the sphere that is being charged, is going to be connected a wire strip or a conductor to the earth, or it will be grounded or earthed, that's the word. So, and that earthing will happen while this guy, the charger, is still in place. Because I said if you remove it, it's going to redistribute and become neutral again. So you put it that way so that it's still enabling the charge separation that was done, so that during the time of the connection, negative charges from the earth will move up to neutralize that charge, and then this body, after a while, will now become charged with only negative charges. Then you can remove the charger. Is that clear? So you see that with conduction charging, the charged body gets the same polarity as the charger, while in induction charging, the charged body gets an opposite polarity as a different polarity from the charger, or the opposite polarity of the charger. All right. So that is it for charging. God bless you. Do what to subscribe to the channel.